Kung Fu expert Matthew Ahmet is teaching 3 lads from London the Shaolin way of life in a bid to help them overcome their personal demons. The lads are taken to the top of the Tian Tan Buddha where training begins.
This time, as you kick and punch, you're gonna place your heel, push with your knee and hit.
But the Kung Fu moves aren't just for show. They are taught for a serious purpose, combat.
If you punch it,
Matt is very strong.
if you can grab their wrist, their elbow goes up.
He just squeezed underneath. And I couldn't do anything apart from go down.
But you grab his finger, any problem, you just bend. 1 inch, you can create a lot of power just from that snap. Yeah,
The 1 inch punch just literally tapped me and I flew. Tried to hold myself strong, but he just went, and then I was gone.
Hit in, you weaken, you up, you push round, you come over very fast. Yeah, and you got him locked. Yeah, call for the police. Yeah.
Halfway through their training, Matthew and the 3 students have a chance to reflect on the journey so far.
Brandon is really struggling. The physical side of things has got him down a lot. You can push yourself.
I am pushing myself.
I know, then just keep going. That's all you need. He has to realise that part of the challenge is to push through it mentally rather than physically.
Brandon was close to giving up in this task, a feeling he knows all too well. Back in the UK, he's been struggling to find a job.
You feel that you put all your effort into, trying to present yourself in a certain way to a company, and they just screw up your CV and just throw it in the bin. You know what I mean? So it's a bit depressing sometimes, but you have to obviously move on.
Come on! Chris isn't doing too bad, but I think he has got a lot of anger and energy inside. He's just got to learn how to channel it.
Back in London, Chris has found himself in situations where his inner anger has nearly got the better of him.
I've put a guy on the floor and on top of him about to, but I've just calmed myself down and I've not done anything. And yeah, it's the right thing to do because, but I don't know, I just need that release, just need it because I've never actually just gone and just done something.
He's holding himself back. I think he's had some issues in his life and he's scared to actually express himself.
Got a lot of anger towards my dad, I'm not going to lie on camera because it's true. I'm hoping, this experience will help me just channel my energy and hopefully release it.
Shaquille has got a lot of physical ability and I think he's used to just picking up things at the snap of the fingers. With Kung Fu, there's a lot more in depth that he needs to study.
I'm still waiting to understand what he's meaning by there's a mental side of it. So looking forward to understanding the meaning of it.
To perform feats of Qigong, like breaking an iron bar over the head, Matthew teaches his students to channel their negative experiences into a powerful energy that enables them to overcome physical pain. Matthew draws upon a particular traumatic memory. To break this metal rod over his head, Matthew brings to mind all the negative memories of his father's illness. He then transforms this mental pain into physical power. The students will have to do the same if they are to have any chance of breaking a bottle for their final challenge. Matthew has taken Chris, Shaquille, and Brandon into the mountains to try and tap into this internal power. First, it's Chris, whose pent-up anger stems from not only his absent father, but also a skin condition on his scalp that led to bullying.
When I was younger, I used to have this thing on the back of my head where I used to have a patch and I used to get bullied for that as well. Battering of self-confidence. When you go into a field and you just want to scream and just tear up everything, that's what I feel as though I need to do at times.
Could this bullying be the source of Chris's aggressive behavior? And can Matthew turn it in a positive direction?
Did that make you angry that you couldn't do anything about it?
Of course it did, because it weren't just people of my age group doing it, it was people older. Obviously it makes me feel down, depressed, just makes me want the world to swallow me up. I know it shouldn't be that dramatic, but to me, that's my weakness.
I think if you can, during your journey here, if you can find yourself spiritually and you can understand a little bit more about the anger and how that can be used, and that feeling down can be used in a positive way, you can learn to appreciate that. And although being bullied isn't necessarily a positive thing, you are who you are because of what you've experienced.
I believe it is true. I do believe, you can use anger in a positive way. It's just a matter of, learning how to.
I think Shaolin can give Chris the release that he needs from his past life and allow him to move on. He's going to do well.
Next up is Shaquille. Will it be something from his past or his competitive nature that drives him on?
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been doing. So I just wanted to know what makes you angry, what type of thing pushes your buttons, because you need to understand that to be able to achieve Qigong.
I'm not sure really. Probably being second best at something or losing.
Losing.
Yeah.
So is there something that makes you sad or feel pain that you can kind of recreate in your mind, that when you go to break that bottle, you know you're going to do it?
There's nothing really that could take my emotions apart from losing. Really, there's no family problems or nothing.
All right, well, you're going to have to really try to picture a lot of people around you and just you not being able to do it. And the more you think like that, the more angry you're going to get. And then once you have that energy, hopefully, it's going to be strong enough and you're going to break through the bottle. All right? Down you go. Although Shaquille's physically very fit, I think he's going to struggle with harnessing his energy and finding focus to achieve something like breaking the bottle. It's not as easy as running upstairs. It takes a lot of focus, and you need to be able to channel your negative energy in the right way.
Finally, Brandon. Matthew explains how vital it is to draw on all his emotions, including anger, in order to progress as a Shaolin disciple.
I know that you're a very positive person and that you don't really show a lot of negativity at all.
I mean, there are things in my life that angered me, but it wasn't to an extent where, I wanted to go out there and hit someone.
There must be something. That energy is there. Just energy is there. Not anger as a word. Don't look at it like that. Look at it as an energy, and that energy is going to enable you to break a bottle. Is that something that you think you can do?
I obviously believe that there is a balance with everything in life, and that's definitely something that I could use, anywhere. So I'll definitely want to train on that.
I think Brandon needs to understand he's not using that negative energy how he should be. He's just holding back, that he doesn't want to accept that he can be angry.
He said that I need to look for the negative because it's like a battery. It needs positive and negative to work. So it makes a lot of sense to me, a hell of a lot of sense to me.
Will Brandon and Shaquille be able to find all the mental strength they need for the final challenge? It's early the following morning, and the students are about to face a brutal test that requires both physical and mental conditioning. Each student will be kicked in the back at least 50 times to train their muscles and harden their bodies.
They're going to have to learn to deal with the pain and stretch their pain threshold to levels that they've never done before.
To combat the relentless impact, they will have to control their breathing and totally focus their mind.
Whatever you have, what we were speaking about the other day, anything inside, you need to use that now. This is the time.
Once you get that focus, you're focused on something else. So just keep going. That's all I was trying to do, just keep on going, keep on going.
Okay, relax. Good. Okay? Yeah, 80. Good.
Chris's raw back is physical proof of his mental strength.
Good.
Next up, Shaquille.
Ready? You ready? Go! Sir. Sir. Leo.
I was kind of angry at the two people that was hitting me because it was getting harder and harder and harder. So that was kind of like my negative energy, the two people that was hitting me.
Okay, relax. Good. You okay? Alright, breathe. Okay? 64. Alright, that's good. You alright? So good. Shake it out. Breathe. Done good.
And finally, it's Brandon.
Alright. Sir. Here. Come back.
It's trying to still look for negative kind of energy. I was saying, you know, come on, you know, you could do this. Don't be an idiot, like, you know what I mean? I was trying to, you know, get myself raged up, so I just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going.
Sir. Sir. Okay, relax. Relax. Breathe. Hold it.
Brandon digs deep to harness his negative energy and mentally force out the pain.
Okay.
Having struggled with the mental demands of Shaolin Kung Fu, Brandon now seems to have found fresh reserves of energy and determination. It's a while before he emerges from his trance-like state.
Yeah, I didn't really feel anything. I was just trying to maintain focus.
I thought you was going to do good, Chris, and you did. I was a little bit worried about you too because of what we spoke about yesterday, finding that energy, but I think you found it. You know, you look very focused, Brandon. I don't know what you had in your mind. You seem very strong.
By enduring this conditioning exercise, the students have really turned a corner on their Shaolin journey.
Sacrificing themselves in that way just shows that they're willing to take it as far as it needs to be taken, and they've shown some real discipline. You don't see that every day.
Next, who will break the bottle?
I have to select one of you to take these beads home.
And Matthew chooses his top Shaolin student.